When most people think of influential Marvel movies, most people probably think of Infinity War or Endgame. But I don't think many people are considering Spider-Man Brand New Day to be in that conversation. But today I'm going to convince you guys why it should be there. Now just hear me out. Just give me a little bit to explain why I think that is the case. When Spider-Man Brand New Day was first announced, it was definitely hyped, but I don't think many people were ready for how successful this movie would be. It made $932 million worldwide in its opening weekend, becoming the second largest movie opening in existence, and then it crossed $2 billion in under 3 weeks. So today, I would like to talk about this movie and really explain how we even got here in the first place. Now, just a quick heads up, massive spoiler warning here. So if you have not watched Brand New Day yet, I recommend you do that before watching this video.
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. You don't remember me, but we used to know each other.
Discussions for Spider-Man Brand New Day originally came out in September of 2024, with the top choice for the directing being Destin Daniel Cretton after it was decided that John Watts would not be directing this film. He had originally worked with the MCU for Shang-Chi, and he was originally supposed to direct a sequel for that movie, as well as originally supposed to direct Avengers The King Dynasty before the whole thing did happen, and they changed it to Avengers Doomsday. Now, although Cretton really didn't think that he would be the right fit, he ultimately did end up being the director to direct the film. When pre-production started in February 2025, it was confirmed that the filming would start in mid-2025. We knew a little bit of the cast. We originally knew that Tom Holland would come back, Zendaya as well. But the first new member of the cast was Sadie Sink, which sparked a lot of fan theories, most of the fan theories being that she was going to play Jean Grey for a new era of X-Men in the MCU. That will be important later. However, it was kept a secret until the movie came out. It was only until CinemaCon in March of 2025 that it was announced that the movie would be called Spider-Man Brand New Day. Then, as the cast went on, we got actors like John Bernthal, who came back as the Punisher, and then also rumors that Mark Ruffalo would be reprising his role as Bruce Banner, which ended up being true as well. Now, it was described that Brand New Day was going to be the start of a new chapter for Peter Parker as he was more mature. As time went on, more and more theories came up. This was probably the biggest of fan theories that we have seen in the MCU for such a long time. Then, as the time went on, the production happened, and we were just a little bit away from the release of the movie, where we saw Sadie Sink and all the other panels, where Sadie Sink didn't really tried her absolute best to not reveal who she was going to be, which later made sense. A little bit before the movie came out, we had also seen the release of The Odyssey, which had many of the cast, 3 of the cast members from Brand New Day, which some people thought was going to kind of slow down, but that did not end up being the case at all. When Brand New Day came out, it had an opening weekend of $932 million in just its opening weekend. Now, its global opening was the second biggest global opening, but for domestic, it is the biggest domestic opening in cinema history. It sparked great reviews, majorly positive reviews. Some people have called it the best Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. I would agree with that. I think it was absolutely amazing. Now, that just leaves the question, how does this movie mark a new era for the MCU? This movie really did help set up some events. We saw Sadie Sink as Jean Grey, who obviously in the movie was a menace, taking control of New York. But I think that in the new X-Men movie that they announced, she will come back to how she is and for the future of the X-Men. I think it also was surprising when people saw that Yelena was coming back, that Florence Pugh was coming back. I think that did surprise a lot of people. But in the simple context, this movie is a lot more of Peter trying to get back to how he was. Everyone had forgotten about him. They didn't realize he was Spider-Man. Seeing as Jean Grey basically took over almost everyone, got into basically everyone's mind. And it's clear that this movie basically has reset the MCU. It is the biggest MCU movie of the 2020s. Almost one of the biggest movies ever. It's clear that people think that the MCU is back to being great. It's clear that the MCU is back for most people. Now, that isn't to say that there haven't been good MCU movies in the 2020s. I love Shang-Chi. I actually really like Thunderbolts a lot more than some people that I know. I really like Deadpool and Wolverine. So I'm not saying that there are bad MCU movies, just there are some that are just not very good. Thor, Love and Thunder, The Marvels, and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, all were just not very good whatsoever. But I think Brand New Day is really the start of the MCU comeback. If Doomsday can have the impact that Brand New Day has had so far and will continue to have throughout its theatrical run, I think the MCU is completely set again. Obviously, we know how good Doomsday will be. Well, we don't know how good it will be. We know how good it will do, but I will say I am a little bit skeptical about Doomsday. But if the MCU can continue, if the Russo brothers can have the magic that they had in Infinity War and Endgame, I think the MCU is set. So, that'll be the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.